So what have I manifested since the new moon? Strength, courage, compassion for myself, really, and just kind of summoning that inner strength to move forward, to keep going, to pursue my dreams, to pursue actions to take real vulnerability. And that's not easy, and I've really worked on that during this moon cycle. Sorry. Okay, so where am I now? The Hanged Man. Okay, surrender. Really putting myself out there. It may look like he's trapped, but really he's just super vulnerable. So here's that vulnerability I'm talking about. I've been doing these videos. I've been living my truth. I've been really just committing myself to doing these readings, to pursuing my goals. And that takes, again, a lot of that strength and courage. So I think this is very apt of where I am now. Just a full surrender to the will of the universe, to the will of spirit, and trusting that it's going to guide me in the right direction. Okay, so what is coming into my conscious awareness? Ten of Wands. This is the card of being overburdened, responsibilities, just overwhelmed, having a lot on our plate. You know, I've been dealing with all kinds of different responsibilities. I am very consciously aware of them right now, working on several different facets that are pulling at me and that are requiring energy that I don't really care to give. But I have to in order to get stability, to get real grounding, and really be able to see those dreams through and live the life that I want to live. You know, we all have to do things we don't want to do. We all have to take on tasks that we don't enjoy. It's just a part of life, and you know, there's real parts of that I'm dealing with right now. So what is no longer serving me? Okay, this is interesting. So this is the Nine of Cups. It's the card of bliss and harmony. I think what is no longer serving me is thinking that there is an idea of I'm going to reach this goal and then suddenly I'll have achieved it. That I'm going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I made it. And I think there are signs that I'm on the right path, but life is a constant journey and there is no victory in the sense of there's no game to be won. There's no final ending. It's always going to be a journey. There's always going to be things I want to hope for, maybe don't get, that require struggle, that require work, that take time, that take patience. So what I think is no longer serving me is this idea that there's going to be some day that is just like, I made it, I'm 100% happy, I'm totally there, there's nothing I want for, there's nothing missing in my life, there's always going to be something I'm working towards, there's always going to be more that I can fulfill, there's always more to learn, I'm always to be stronger as a reader, as a writer. And I think just letting go of that idea that perfection exists, because it doesn't. There's always balance, there's always give and take. With hope comes fear, with joy comes misery, you know, and that's just a part of life. So how can I release hold on. Sorry, Siri was talking to me. See, I'm having all kinds of tech issues too. So how can I release and let go of these things that are no longer serving me? What's advice from Spirit? What tools can I use? Okay, so this is the card of inheritance, generational wealth. Usually it's financial, material wealth, but I think what it's saying is don't get so tied to this idea that I need money to be happy, that I need physical, material things to experience joy, that there's joy and abundance around me, even when I'm not living in a time that is full of material possessions, that true happiness can be achieved without an abundance of wealth. So I think that's something to keep in mind. And then this is also about kind of family legacy. So I think learning from those around me, learning from myself, learning from past lives, and taking that energy to heart and releasing what no longer serves me in terms of expectations I had for myself, of the amount of money I was going to have and the kind of lifestyle I was going to live and the things that I needed to be happy, that when I did have a taste of them, never made me happy. So I'm going to do 2 more cards. This next one is going to be what kind of additional resources are available to me as I kind of go through this process of releasing. Patience. This is Temperance, the card of patience, the card of balance. This is a lesson I'm constantly learning, and this is a reminder from Spirit too. Patience is my word of the year. It's been so hard for me because now that I've decided what I want and what I'm working toward, I want it right away. I want instant gratification, and I went so many years not knowing what that was, that now that I have it within my sights, I want it now, and I'm a good manifester. But nothing happens overnight, and it's just a reminder to embrace patience. Okay, now lastly, what is the outcome? The High Priestess. She's incredibly intuitive. She's very in touch with spirit. She's a psychic. She's an empath. She's just completely in touch with her spirituality. She's tied to all 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, the 5th, and arguably the strongest element. She is super psychic and has nurtured and cultivated those abilities, and that's really what I'm working towards. And I think that's going to be the ultimate outcome. I want to be a tarot reader. I want to have this be what I work on a day-to-day basis, and I am committed to seeing that to fruition. And if I take these lessons from Spirit and put those into action, then that's what I'm going to be achieved. So just to recap, so what have I manifested? Strength. Where am I right now? In surrender. What am I bringing into conscious awareness? My responsibilities, my being overwhelmed, overburdened. What do I need to let go of? This idea that there's a perfection. Let go of perfection. How can I release that? A reminder that money isn't everything, luxury isn't everything, and that I have lessons to learn from my family and from the people I trust, and even from myself. What additional resources do I have available to me that's going to help work towards those goals? Patience. And what is the overall outcome if I listen to Spirit and follow its guidance? The High Priestess, somebody who's super psychic, super in line with their beliefs, and super, spiritual in the way that I want to be and the way I want to live my life. Okay, wishing you a wonderful full moon. It's been super interesting to me with the fire last night, weather here. It's my last week in